Hey y'all, this is AL Thank Madame and Cinnamon Sugar up under my hood. But anyway, I guess this is gonna be a what a week post. Y'all took everything in me on yesterday not to come on here and to start talking about stuff before my last day of work, which was just a couple of hours ago. Um, but anyway, I might turn my fan on and off, I don't know. But anyway, y'all, let me go ahead and get into it. So this week has been a week. I mean, it was all right up until the last hour and a half of yesterday. But let me try to do everything in order. So, I had been wondering where, the fine man been at that work at my job. I don't know what his schedule is, so I think that's why. But at one point in time, I was seeing him like every day I worked. So in my mind, I'm like, well, dang, where he at? So he might work like what? Hmm. Tuesday through Saturday or something. I don't know. That might be why I don't really be seeing him like that when I come back to work, which my schedule is about to change back to what it was before. I don't know how I feel about that, but we're gonna see. Not my old schedule where I get paid less. I'm still gonna be doing the same thing unless they call me and say something else. Um, as of right now, y'all, I'm gonna be off for my days plus an additional 2 days, but I don't trust them. So I I don't know. And so I need to work on this lymphedema because I really want to be in great fighting, walking, running, all that condition when I go home. And I don't care come hell or high water. I would definitely be going home the week of Christmas. So I don't really care what's going on with that. But this was so unexpected. I still don't have a clear answer as to if I'm really gonna be off like that. I think I am gonna be off for like 5 days. I don't know, maybe five. Cause see, the shift I'm going to just came in at 2 a.m. So they get off on Saturday. Then the shift I was on, they start back Saturday night, Sunday. Then they be off. So then I got to come in next Wednesday. Um, that'll be my first day back, as long as everything goes according to plan. So I'm gonna be off for pretty much like a week, y'all. Um, the property manager contacted me to update me to let me know that instead of on Thursday, on Friday, the electrician that they've chosen is going to be coming by. Now, he already told me that there was an electrician that was going to come by, but we gonna see how that go. I don't trust nothing. But anyway, he said they were gonna come by. So now it's changed from Thursday to Friday. They're supposed to be coming by to check everybody's outlets. So they're gonna be in and out of everybody's apartment for like 4 5 hours or whatever. And I'm like, I don't really care as long as they fix my outlet, so I don't have to keep going out to dry my clothes because that's infuriating. I've been having to do that for a year. I told them about it before it even went out. When the last electrician from the other people told me that it was a matter of time before it was going to eventually short all the way out because it was in the process of shorting out when everything first happened. So anyway, I keep y'all updated on that. I texted him and I'm pretty sure he hadn't said nope, he ain't said nothing back. We gonna see. But anyway, I ended up having to text him, the property manager, to ask him when was this situation going to be rectified? And I sent a screenshot of it saying on the tenant portal that I have an 100 and something dollar fee that needs to be paid. And I'm like, you told us that everything was going to be waived. Any late fees would be waived this month. Okay. First of all, I had my money in my account waiting before the first. Okay. They are trying to abide by the law or the rules or whatever of Virginia. And apparently in Virginia, because this is common law and they love getting over money wise here, like any type of way where they know that they would have the upper hand, they just do the most. I ain't never in my life heard of no other place where they're saying you don't get a 5 day grace period for your rent. So at the absolute latest, you have it to the fifth to pay your rent. Well, here they said that it's a law for you to, it has to be by the second or something like that. I was like, what? So he was like, well, by law it's the second, but if your old contract said the fifth, then we will honor that. And I'm looking at him like, sir, like, first of all, it's the second right now. When I asked you initially, what do I put? on a money order that I was planning to go get, because y'all never sent out any notification to say, hey, my name is this. I represent this company. Any money orders or anything that y'all send to us when it comes in the form of monetary, whatever, you put this on here. You address it like this, like any other company before y'all did. So I've been waiting. It's getting closer to the date, and I'm like, well, dang. Since you finally left a card, because I didn't even have a number until he left the card when he tried to just think he was just gonna pop up. Child, I don't play that popping up. I don't play that popping up foolishness. Like, I'd really be sitting right here next to the door, and he think he gonna knock on the door and I'm gonna open it. No, you didn't give me no notice. I'm not no opening the door. I was in the middle of talking and everything, and I was like, no, I'm not opening the door. I don't know you, and you didn't give me notice, so I'm not opening the door. But anyway, y'all, so I was just like, see, this is some foolishness. But anyway, I asked him, I sent him a screenshot, and I was like, so when will this be rectified? Because you told me that you were going to waive this fee, and you wanted everything to be done on this portal and all this other stuff, and you assured me that there would not be an extra fee. I told him that I have no problem with paying my rent at the time that he talking about, meaning by the 3rd at the absolute latest versus the 5th, which I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, my last rental agreement, you know what I'm saying, said the 5th, like all the other ones prior to that. So anyway, child, I'm just like, when are you going to rectify the situation? He hadn't said anything. I don't really care. I don't know if he waited until he meet me on Friday or whatever. I really don't care. But you need to remove that off my account, trying to make it seem like I'm not paying my rent. And then it took almost a week for it to come out. Tell me why it just came out like yesterday. And I made the payment Saturday. Like, why is it taking so long for it to come out of my account? I made the payment, Saturday morning? Why it took 4 days for it to come out of my account? And you made it seem like, oh, well, if it's this particular account, it'll act as if it's a debit card and whatever. I used my bank account and had the money moved over to them or whatever, and it was supposed to be snatched out. I kept looking at my account like, what in the world? How long is it going to take? So anyway, I mean, of course, I had all of my information in order showing that it did process or whatever, but I was just like, when is it going to come out of my account, though? I don't like stuff like that. Take that out now. Take that out immediately. That's what I liked about the money orders. They were being taken out immediately. Child, but anyway, I keep y'all updated on all that foolishness. Let me go ahead and get down to the real foolishness, because I'm not really worried about that. So I started back at work on Saturday night, Sunday. Everything was going all right. You know what I'm saying? You have your ups and downs, and, you know, it wasn't nothing for me to really discuss. So let me tell y'all about yesterday, where the foolishness definitely came into play. Okay, y'all. So I'm up in there. I done went on my last break. So I got an hour and a half left of work. So I came back from break, and the woman that was breaking me out was talking to me, and I'm trying to understand. I'm like, wait a minute, what is going on here? I can't tell y'all the, details, but just know that some foolishness was afoot. So I asked her about it, and she was like, okay, I gotta explain this to y'all first, so y'all know what I'm saying. So the positions of people that are above us are leads and supervisors. So the leads are over us, but if they are a lead in our department, they are with us in our department all day. And they go from various, rooms or whatever where we are in the department. They might have to step in and actually help us. They're supposed to be able to do every single thing that we do. If they ever need to step in, despite the fact that they're a lead, they are supposed to help us, especially if we need help. And the supervisor, of course, is over the entire department. They don't have to be there all day. They normally have other stuff they got to do. They got a lot of paperwork stuff they have to do. They do payroll. They do so much stuff. But anyway, I got to turn the fan on for this. This is already making me hot just thinking about it, because I'm actually not hot. That's why I got my thinner robe on, because if I put this other one on, I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna go to sleep. But anyway, so like I said, the last hour and a half of yesterday was straight foolishness. I came back from break, and so the woman told me what she told me, and I was like, that don't make no sense. Now, things were being told to her where they were basically making it seem like, okay, so we had correspondence with upper management, which are people even above them, talking about we aren't meeting the standards and these numbers and all this other stuff that we supposed to be meeting. We not meeting what we need to meet, the goals. That's what I mean to say. We're not meeting the goals that we're supposed to meet. And I'm just like, okay. Like, I mean, at first it didn't bother me because I was just like, okay, you need to talk to maintenance about that, because the reason why that's not happening is because there are several things not operational right now because of them. Now, back there in that department, we have a dry eraser board. Dry erase, or whatever. We have a dry erase board. Any issues that are going on in that department, whoever is the maintenance person assigned to work back there, because they have specific people. I don't know if they have a rotation list like every 6 months that you got to go back there or whatever. There is an appointed, at least one appointed person that is supposed to be back there. That's maintenance. They're supposed to come up to that board after they've had their meeting when they first come in and start working on things, fixing these issues. There have been things that have been up there for months, y'all. I very rarely see maintenance. And I just be like, I mean, on one hand, I like them not being around, but at the same time, I'm just like, don't be trying to get mad with us when it's maintenance. Child, to make a long story short, as far as that is concerned, they basically trying to make it seem like they might have to take us up front, the people that work, the four of us that do that particular job in that department. And I'm looking like, what you mean? Take us up front for what? Like, I don't understand what you think gonna happen, because you ain't finna try to sit up here and get me fired when I'm actually coming in doing my job. I literally come in, I have paperwork I have to attend to that's very important. That it's so important that I do it as soon as I come in. It takes me about 30, 45 minutes sometimes to complete it, but I'm actually going over everything I'm supposed to be doing. So you're not gonna say that the job ain't being done. I'm thankful for the fact that there are cameras in that room when I'm doing that particular job, where you're watching me. You can see me doing my job. Like, there is so much, when I tell you, it's so much stuff that you gotta do. It's so much, it's not a hard job, but it's so much stuff you gotta do to make sure that things are right. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. But you gonna tell me, you gonna try to make it seem like, well, don't make me have to take you up front. You got that attitude with us. I ain't got time for it. Look, y'all, then the person for the last, it was like 2 days. So before today, we had to deal with this guy for 2 days. Keep in mind, he was on the same level as me, meaning he's somebody that's a fill-in. So he got to fill in for the leads. The leads that would have been available, one of them is about to start working somewhere else, so he has to take off and go to classes for that. The other person is a woman, and she's off this week. She's on vacation. She actually is the lead over the shift that I'm going to. Okay? So nobody was available. So when nobody's available, he has to step in. Okay. Because he's the fill-in, right? Oh, okay. So the fill-in doing the most. Now keep in mind, the fill-in just came from doing one of the jobs that I applied for, which was the other job. That's not the job that I'm doing currently, right? I've been telling y'all for the last 9+ months, I kept applying for these 2 specific jobs back that they kept putting out there. Talking about, oh, we need people. Then all of a sudden, when I apply for the piece of a job, which is the fill-in job of the same job, instead of giving me the full-time job, of course y'all award me with the piece of a job, like I knew you would. But anyway, that's what he's doing, except he's a fill-in as a lead. Okay. I just kept saying to myself, first of all, you Black. And as I've said in the past, I'm always happy when I see Black people excel and they become, somebody that's in these leadership roles and all of that. Great. You're getting more money, and they're seeing you as somebody who should be able to be responsible enough to get these jobs done, whatever, right? I always have in the back of my mind, I hope this person don't change. I really hope that this job or this position don't change them for the worse, because stuff like that be bringing out the worst in some people. Child, I come to the meeting. First of all, I didn't know he was gonna be there. I didn't know he was gonna be there. I knew that the lead that normally is over that shift, he has like 1 or 2 days throughout the week that he might not be there because he has to take classes. But I didn't know which days it fell on. So that ended up being one of the days it fell on. Well, he in the middle of a speech talking about some my pet peeves are, and I was just like I really was standing there in the meeting looking like, why are you telling us your pet peeves? Tell us what's going on with the people who are in there right now. Of course, prior to us. Are they having any issues? Are there things we need to work on so that we can alleviate the situation so we're not having these issues so we can have a great shift? That's what you're supposed to be talking to us about. I'm not understanding why you telling me your pet peeves are people being on the phone and you don't want to have to chase behind nobody, wondering, how long they taking on a break. First, second, and third of all, we already have a breaker, sir. I don't understand why you worried about our time. What are you worried? Why are you making it seem like you gonna be the breaker for everybody? Y'all, excuse me, this air blowing in my throat. And I knew that was gonna happen, but I didn't even think about it. It always happens, y'all. I'm sorry. So I'm just like, why are you worried about that? I just really was sitting up there balling my face up. Like I cannot hide the way I feel. And so I'm just looking like, you worried about the wrong thing. He was like, yeah, I got a family at home too, but don't be on your phone and da 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 da. Okay, I understand that. But you doing the most. Like, I'm the type of person where, so today some additional things were said. or maybe I got there a few minutes late. I don't know. I don't remember if I told y'all or not, but I told the real supervisor that I have a situation going on that is preventing me from being able to walk how I need to, and it drains my energy, and like I kind of give out and I get winded. And so I asked him, I told him, I was like, I'm pretty sure you've noticed that I've been being late a whole lot recently. He was like, yeah, I have. And I mean, he actually acts as if he's concerned. He actually is very, easy to talk to. Ever since he first met me, he wanted to come and meet me. He wanted to come and shake my hand and talk to me and like, you have any issues, come to me, da 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 da. I know that there are some people that will put on that guise. They will really make you think that they can be trusted, but they're not. So far, he's been very stand-up. Been a very stand-up guy. And so, like, even with this situation, like, so far, so good. I don't know if he go behind our back and go to upper management and say something else when he's in privacy of their company. I don't know, but so far, so good. But anyway, so y'all, I just cannot with the foolishness. I cannot with the foolishness. This whole time I was just like, okay, you black. I'm rooting for you. I'm glad you got this great. I'm glad you have this particular position. Hopefully, you'll do it justice. Oh no, it's barely been 48 whole hours and he'd have switched all the way up. So let me tell y'all the foolishness that went down yesterday. So like I said, I came back from my break. We got an hour and a half left of work. This was a 12-hour day, mind you. So the girl told me, the woman told me the foolishness that was going on. I was just like, but why? This don't make no sense. This is stupid. So anyway, my supervisor, like the supervisor, when I'm not doing this job, the person who is my supervisor, him, the maintenance supervisor, and him, the fill-in lead, they all congregated and was trying to figure out what was going on. They trying to scramble, and I'm like, what are they all backing for? So there's a room like right in front of like where this big room is, where we do what we're doing when we're doing that particular job. So it's supposed to be one of the little maintenance areas for that particular department, right? And so you can see through the doors and all this other stuff. So they all standing there watching us and going back and forth. And you could tell they talking to themselves, talking amongst themselves. And then you could tell they looking at us and talking and whatever. And then like they really would like stand up there looking at us like they trying to figure out like, oh, well, they look like they ain't doing no work. And I'm just like, y'all really want to stand up? I cannot stand somebody. I cannot stand nobody that want to sit up there and look in my face when I'm doing my job because you're hoping, praying, and wishing that you can somehow find me in a uncompromising position. You hoping and praying that you're going to find me slipping up. Sorry, that's not how I operate. If I don't know what I'm doing, I'm going to ask for help. If I don't know what I'm doing, I'm going to tell somebody I don't know what I'm doing. Can you direct me so that I know what I'm supposed to do? I'm not going to just sit up here and let let a situation go out of control when all I had to do was simply ask a question, ask for help. It's not that hard. So anyway, y'all, I was just like, could you go? I cannot, that irks my soul. I can't stand that. They really stood there like 45 minutes, almost a whole hour of that hour and 30 minutes just watching us. So I didn't know the feelings of the other person that was there. Now, keep in mind, this other person, the person who's the breaker this week, she's been there since this department came to be. So she's been there the entire time. Anytime anybody references anybody, they always say she's the best one. Oh, no matter what shift you're talking about, they're talking about she is the best one that does this job. Like, she is really great at her job. Like, she be on it. She know what to do, everything. So he rolled up on her and got smart with her and said what he said to her. And I was just like I really couldn't even say that at the time. I couldn't even believe he said what he said. So then today was when I really heard how she felt. Because we were both already talking about, like, that's crazy. Why would you want us to do that? Like, that's the opposite of what we're supposed to stand for. Like, this is stupid. Y'all, today, since the other people were there, we had our meeting, right? So almost everybody went inside. And so when almost everybody walked off, and so I turned to the supervisor and the lead. I was like, okay, so y'all are we operating like we did yesterday, or are we gonna do what we're supposed to do? So they were like, what you mean? They didn't even know what was going on. So I had to give them examples, and I told them exactly what happened yesterday. They were like, no, if y'all could have saw their faces, they were like, no, like, by all means, do what you know you're supposed to do. Like, that is not acceptable. And I was like, that's what I thought. Because just let me know if we're supposed to be off the script today and do ignorant stuff. Let's just disregard the fact that somebody's gotten fired for similar situations like that. And they were a whole supervisor around here. Like, people be doing the most to try to cut corners. And this was the same thing. It just wasn't the same exact situation. It was literally the same thing. You're doing all this trying to meet a goal that's unattainable because it's out of our control, because we're not maintenance. Like, y'all, I just don't be understanding. And that's why I was like, see, the Lord be knowing. The Lord be knowing. The Lord be knowing that I need to get away from these people. As soon as my blood starts to boil, which it really takes a whole lot. It takes a whole lot for me to get to that point. The Lord be knowing. Because I ain't got to see these folks for a week. And I ain't got to use no time. Because I'm just going to be off. Because it makes sense for me to come back when the shift starts back. Now, if it's up to me, if I wanted to, I could be like, hey, let me come in and whatever. Like, my check is on, my check should be fine. I ain't really worried about that. I got almost a whole month before I got to worry about rent again. I ain't really worried about that. It is what it is. I got to check this about to come. Like, I'm just saying, I'm good as far as money is concerned for my bills. I'm not worried about that. I'm just tired. I'm just tired of people. Y'all, I'm sorry. Stuff like this irritates me. It gets me to itching and scratching, and I'm not even itching. But yeah, I don't like stuff like that. Don't sit up here and be two-faced and act crazy once you have a little bit of power. My thing is this. This is one of the main reasons why I have told y'all in the past that when these new people will come in, I didn't want to train nobody, because they always want the responsibility of the failure of these people to fall on you. Okay? Every time I looked up anybody that ever trained somebody, well, why won't the people stay? Well, what are y'all doing wrong that the people don't want to stay? And I'm just like, see, that's why I don't want to train nobody, because you're not going to blame me. You're not going to blame me because these people didn't want to stay. These people are grown. They do what they want to do. You have to be 18 years or older to work at this job. So what is you talking about? These people walk out and leave all day if they want to. These people sit up here and call out, use up all their time and no time. And then you want to look at me like, well, why? Well, why do they have all of these occurrences? Why don't they want to come? Why do we have to shut the whole department down when they should know what to do? They got trained. That's what I'm asking. They had way more time than I had to get their life together before they let them loose. They keep on extending how long these people are supposed to be in training, and they're still getting worse and worse. And I'm just like, y'all doing all this. Now they got a 90-day probationary period on top of that. Y'all inconveniencing us. It's so much stupidity going on. I'm just like, everybody just dumb all the way around at this point. Like, why? Y'all, so anyway, I was just so tired of my spirit. Like, I was just like, see, the Lord be knowing. First of all, the Lord knew that I didn't need to be there when that man came up to her and said what he said to her. He already knew. He already knew that I did not need to be there. Because I'm the type of person where I will sit there, I will stand there and look like a deer in headlights to process this and be like, I know he didn't just say this to me. And then I'm going to say, what do you mean? And I'm going to ask you about the stupidity that you just said to me. Like, people be looking at me like I'm crazy. And I'm like, child, I don't care nothing about it. Like, I'm not going to sit up here and get fired for something ignorant. I'm just not. Let me see if this going to help me, because I had to sit up here and let my throat get dried out. My bad, y'all. I don't need to be eating this. I got this up here so I can get these to my friend. I definitely don't need these. But it's not going to ruin my life by eating it. Try to lubricate my throat. So anyway, y'all, like I said, the Lord knew that I did not need to be over there at the time that man walked up to her and said what he said to her. Like, I don't understand. I understand that is a high stress situation, but you signed up for that job. You signed up for it. If something happens, the blame got to fall on you, because you are upper management at this point. Don't get mad at us. Now, I would get mad. I would understand getting mad at us if we were not doing our job, but we actually are doing our job and then some. Some days, the stuff they be asking us, I just be like, the miracles that y'all request of us, and we give them to y'all, and then y'all still want to find a reason to try us. I just can't. And we get paid the least back there. And like I said before, the money is great in comparison to where I was working, but we still get paid the least back there doing that particular job. It is what it is. I'm not complaining. I'm just stating a fact. It just is what it is. But y'all, since it was the half day, my friends came in on the second half. So I went up to them. The dude who sound like T-Pain, who ain't got the locks or whatever, or the money, I told him, I said, I'm just giving you a heads up right now. If they pull any of the stuff that they pulled yesterday, you probably gonna walk out because of the way they was talking to folks. And he's had people to talk to him less crazy than the way everything went down yesterday. And he was about to blow a gasket. And I'm like, oh yeah, he gonna walk out. And my friend, she's definitely gonna walk out. She had a breaker today, but she was just like, yeah, I'll walk out too. And she don't care. She has FMLA, so she don't care no way. And she's been there like longer than all of them anyway. She's been there like 17, almost 18, 20 years almost, or whatever. So yeah, y'all. I had to give him a heads up because I know he'll be done walked out or go upside somebody's head. So I was like, let me just give you a heads up. And I told my friend, make sure she didn't text me. I told her, I was like, if you walk out, just text me. Let me know what it's hitting for, because they did the most. Y'all, when we was about to leave out, first of all, they took forever in their meeting. I'm looking, and I had my phone set for 2 a.m. because I can't clock out before 2 in order for me to get paid for the whole shift, right? So I was like, okay. I had my alarm to go off to remind myself to take a picture of the schedule so they can't ever say, oh, well, you were supposed to be here on these days. No, nothing was posted. I have all my proof. You ain't finna lie on me. People do that stuff all the time, and I ain't got time for it to ever happen to me. So, I wanted to be ready. My phone started going off. I'm looking like I had already looked at my phone. I'm like, okay, what's taking them so long? So the woman was like, yeah, they're having a heart-to-heart. Listen, so they gonna sit up there talking about no chit-chatting and all this other stuff. Anytime anybody say anything like that, I promise y'all, I start laughing or smiling instantly. I don't care what you talking about. As long as I'm doing my work and my work has been done, you're not gonna tell me I can't talk. You're not gonna tell me I can't have a moment to myself or a moment to talk to somebody. I can talk the entire shift to somebody as long as I'm doing my work. You're not gonna try to restrict me and tell me I can't do nothing. I don't care nothing about what you're talking about. I'm not finna sit here in silence just because you think that that's somehow going to make me more productive. No, I've already done my work. My work has already been done. I understand. I would fully understand if I was behind or I was not doing my work. Yeah, tell that person, yeah, you need to do more work because you doing a whole lot of talking, but you ain't getting no work done. I will understand that, but that ain't the case for me. Any job I've had, almost every job I've been at since I've been in Virginia has tried it. I'm just like, what is this with all these Virginia people talking about some, oh no, you can't talk. Who can't talk? I'm gonna talk every time. I'm gonna talk, I'm gonna laugh, I'm gonna do all of that. And I'm not gonna change up the way I do it at all. I'm still gonna holler, scream, all of that when I'm laughing. Y'all, I laugh really, really loud. I'm country. From Montgomery, Alabama. A lot of y'all already knew that, but you know, I'm making a point right now. Making a point. Wait a minute. I'm from the country. So it's like, come on now. Now I already know all this stuff been going on. It's been almost a week. So, you know, they had to set it off one good time back in my home city of Montgomery, Alabama, child. I already know y'all have seen the viral video of people not having a life, you know, racist group of people not having a life who came all the way from Selma, Alabama, ironically enough. Of all places, they came from Selma. I can't believe that. But anyway, they came down there. Everybody has, you know, if you've been in Montgomery since that particular boat has been there, then almost everybody in that city has been on that boat. And I wasn't around when the boat came about, but a lot of my family and you know friends have been on that boat. They have anniversary parties and things on that boat. All of that, whatever, y'all. Well, they call it the Montgomery Molly Walk. When the meme, I don't know if y'all seen all the meme. Y'all, yesterday I was in my car. After everything went down, when I tell y'all I needed that laugh, the Lord be knowing that too. He be knowing I need it. I sat in my car for 2 hours screaming at all of the memes, the reenactments, the gifts, all of that. Man, the people have been dying. I don't think it's gonna die down no time soon. And at this point, like my partner said, and I'm getting to that too, I'm guessing that this went down and we had to go on ahead and try to, you know, redeem ourselves as a state because of what, you know, the lies that came out of Birmingham, Alabama, which is up the street, which I've already touched on that before too. Yeah, I told y'all about Birmingham before. Birmingham is a place that I am not fond of like that, but I used to go a whole lot in my childhood because I have an aunt on my mama's side of the family that lives there. Now, she's through marriage, but she's more of a blood relative than us, the majority of my blood relatives. It's a whole situation, y'all. I don't even want to go into it. Y'all will be like, wait a minute. Wait, there's some tea right here. But anyway, the woman was married to my uncle and they have a child. I don't know if the child was ever his or not, but she my little cousin. She like 5 years younger than me. She the same age as my brother. So anyway, y'all, I to this day I don't know if that's his biological child. Nobody talks about it. I don't know what's going on. But I tell y'all, I be so confused. And one time, as an adult, I asked somebody about it. I think I said something to my mama, and my mom was just like, "Yeah, we're not even gonna talk about this." I don't know what's going on to this day. Part of me wants to basically believe that he's just a deadbeat that got her pregnant, didn't want to be with her like that no more. They got divorced and was like, "Yeah, I don't want nothing to do with that child." And my aunt raised that child by herself. That's what I think is going on here. I really do. And I can't, you know, I don't know. Like, he has no other children. So part of me is just like, he just wanted to be a deadbeat. And my mama fool with her and barely speaks to her brother. But my uncle be on some foolishness, y'all. Like, what I'm trying to tell y'all, it's levels to the foolishness. But anyway, but y'all, so like I was saying, I used to go to Birmingham all the time because my aunt lived in Fairfield. She still lives in Fairfield. Very nice neighborhood that she lives in. And she would take us to Chuck E. Cheese. So that is why I'm very familiar with Birmingham, because in order for us to get to Chuck E. Cheese, we had to go to Birmingham. We had to leave Fairfield. Whenever she took us to the mall or anywhere else, we would leave there and go to Birmingham. And her brother lived there as well. He passed away. A lot of the people in the city of Birmingham knew him. He became a public official. He owned a barbershop. Whenever we would come to Birmingham, my daddy and my brother used to always get free haircuts from him. Like, they lived for him. He went by Bubba. That's all I'm gonna say. But he died a couple of years ago, and it was very, very sad because he was a really good dude. Anyway, so if it wasn't for that or haircuts and stuff like that, I mean, I would be familiar with Birmingham, but I'm very familiar with Birmingham. And I told y'all I had an ex that lived in Bessemer. And so that's like Hoover and all that stuff or whatever, child. And so we would have to leave there and go to the Galleria area and all of that stuff in order to go to the movies. They ended up, at the time when I was dating him, they had just built like this new movie theater or whatever. It was so nice. Like, it had a nice movie theater, a nice shopping outlet. It was really nice. But we used to have to do that or go into Birmingham to go on dates and, just to be out of his apartment. So yeah, I'm very familiar with Birmingham. But yeah, after Carlee Russell did what she did, in my mind, I just feel like with this situation that happened in Montgomery, it seems as though we had to come set it off and kind of redeem ourselves because of all the lies this heifer put everybody through last month. Like, that was the talk of the town, the United States for a while, because people were really like, wait a minute, like, we all stopped our lives and prayed for this dusty heifer. Like, I was just like, child, ain't nobody got time for it. But yeah, it was too much. So after this happened, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Let me tell you, I gotta tell y'all how it happened. Okay, y'all. So the day of it actually happening, I had gotten a video and I didn't even click on it. I didn't think it was about nothing. All I saw was the Harriet boat, right? And I didn't click on it. So it was just a still of the boat, like kind of like a screenshot of the boat before you play a video. And I was like, child, whatever. I ain't think nothing of it. I didn't see Montgomery on there. I wasn't even reading it. I just saw red, white, and blue and went on about my business. I was like, whatever, I don't care. I forgot who even sent that to me. But tell me why everybody that sent me something was not from Alabama. And by the time people from Alabama started sending me stuff, it was 2-3 days after the fact. I'm like, how y'all send me the tea late? How y'all send me the tea late? And everybody else know I'm from Montgomery. And they just set it up like, oh, girl, look at your city. Look what y'all doing in your city. They set it off and y'all late to the party. My mama was late. My should have been baby daddy was late. Everybody was late. I was like, how dare all of y'all? But anyway, y'all, part of me just thinks that the reason why this popped off in the way that it did was that we had to redeem ourselves for that raggedy heifer Carlee. But anyway, on a serious note, all I'm going to say about this is that I am very proud that the black people stood together and did what they had to do, because this was a clearly racist situation. That man was doing his job. He was professional up until he was just like, you know what? Turned that hat to the back and was like, I'm about to, man, forget this job. I know that look anywhere. That man didn't have to say, man, F this job. The hat said it for him. When he turned it to the back, he was like, no, forget this. And pulled it off and threw it in the air. I said, oh, it's over. This man said, forget this job, because I'm going to have to swing on him because he touched me first. He was professional the whole time. He kept trying to explain to them. They kept getting loud with him. He started returning energy. So now you're mad because he's returning energy. And he right on top of that. And he black. Oh, how dare you? How dare you be a Negro and try to tell me what to do? How dare you? How dare you be a Negro? How dare you? Child. But yeah, that was crazy. It was the chair for me. Wait a minute. Y'all see my little chair? My cousin Ignorant. She put up a video talk about she's selling souvenirs for $10 a piece. And so I guess she got hers from where I got mine from. It's the little phone holder. I got a black one and a purple one. Let me show it to y'all. Hold on real quick. Okay, y'all. So these are phone holders. And they're very flimsy, so that's why I don't really use them like that. But they're folding chairs. I like unique things. And so I bought this like about a year ago, or maybe even more than that, but at least a year ago I bought these. And these are folding chairs. You're supposed to be able to sit your phone in it. I have this purple one. And it's actually darker than what it looked like on this screen. Like, it's light, but it's darker than what I'm looking at on the screen. And a black one. It's a folding chair. Literally what it is. I need to have this as the I need to have this. I need to have this as the you know what it is. Let me stop. But anyway, y'all. But yeah, my cousin, she had like a pink one or a peach one and all that. She told me she's selling them for $10. Child, that's hilarious, man. I was done when the person within 24 hours he had the shirt made up. I was like, no, all the names that they've called it, y'all. When I tell y'all, I was in my car hollering. And look, so then yesterday morning when I had gotten off work, so I'm laughing. I'm over here trying to go to sleep, but I'm scrolling and I keep on seeing stuff. And my friend was like, stop posting stuff. She was like, you need to stop. I was like, no, I don't need to stop. They need to stop sending me stuff because they know I'm going to laugh and I'm going to post it. I had her at work dying all day because I kept seeing stuff. Now, I don't know who made up this one thing. They made it seem like all the reviews, the terrible reviews, ended up making the people close their place of business, but they didn't. It was fake. But I posted it. One of my cousins caught me and told me that, it was a lie. She looked it up and all this other stuff. But it was hilarious. People call them the Avengers. I had a picture that I posted that was of all the Black Rangers. Like, it was just a lot. It was, y'all, the boy who swam across, he's actually related to somebody that I went to school with. And so I was like, oh, I couldn't believe that. Because they showed her name and what she said, where she was like, thank y'all for sending this money to him, da-da-da-da. His Cash App ended up not being able to accept any more money because they put a cap on it or something like that. Child, I was like, wait a minute, y'all done went off. So yeah, it was a lot that went down, but I mean, listen, all I'm gonna say is that was good. Now, the only time, all I gotta say is, in addition to that, is that man going to jail who had that chair though. I was a little bit here for that chair, but listen, the way the police officers was walking around at first, they was like, oh, okay, this was justified. But as soon as he picked that chair up and started beating that woman, man, that woman was catching it from all angles. He was like, oh, okay, you going too far now. He got to go. They put out a warrant for his arrest. Everybody is set to turn themselves in within the next like 24 to 48 hours or something like that. But there was a warrant out for his arrest. All the people in the comment section talking about something. Did y'all see somebody with a chair? I didn't see nobody with a chair. What chair are they speaking of? I ain't see no chair in that video. I ain't see no chair, man. I was like, oh my God. Y'all are ignorant. Oh my God. Oh Lord, me, my brother, my sister, we had like a little group chat, a little family chat that we had. And I was sending them stuff. They was in there hollering. And so my sister ended up telling me that, on a serious note, she told me that she had already put out the word to her Black lawyer friends that, they need to try to find out who these people are and represent them for free. Because ain't nobody got time for it. Now, I don't know if old boy who had the folding check gonna get off, but because he did the most. But everybody else, I'm sorry, that was justified. It was the Q's for me. Not the Q's literally going up there beating and stomping somebody. I was done. I was like, not the old. It was the old Q dogs too. Wait a minute. Y'all, did y'all see the woman with the Crocs on? I ain't never seen nobody's Crocs get towed down to the ground like that. If I think about it, I'll put a picture of it, a still of it in here. But that, I ain't never, you had to be all the way wrong. They beat you through your Crocs, not out of them. They beat you through. Somebody said she should have had them in sport mode because they were not in sports mode. They towed them Crocs all the way down to the ground, literally. Oh my God. But yeah, y'all. There was a lot that went down. But the crazy thing about this is Montgomery normally don't come together like that when it comes to something really, really serious like that. The only time Montgomery really it has a spotlight on them is when we're killing each other. And that's what pisses me off about them, because I'm like, how about y'all do this all the time? Stand up for one another, back each other, come together, instead of, oh, you stepped on my shoe or some ignorant, like when I tell y'all it's some of the most ignorant stuff. When my sister was working for a judge before she became a judge, I told y'all she was working on like high profile cases. And she had just went back in the building. They just shot it up because one of the people that was going to come before the judge was in there, and the ops was outside and decided to shoot it up to kill him. Like, you on my turf. You're on my turf. And all this ignorant stuff. Go somewhere and sit down. And I tell people all the time on my social media, I always repost stuff and I talk about how my city act a fool. But this is the one time, and I don't know how long, that they actually acted a fool and it was justified. Because normally it's something about killing somebody. It's normally something about hurting somebody. It's normally something ridiculously negative going on in my city. And that's why they getting the spotlight on them. I'm just glad that people came through and did what they did, because that was an unfair fight on top of that. Like, y'all started coming from out of nowhere beating on this one black man. Y'all did the most. I really couldn't believe that boy swam across the water. That boy swam across the water, something terrible. Y'all, I was done. But yeah, speaking of the Montgomery Mollywop, because that's the way when I tell you I ain't heard nobody say Mollywop in so long. It's the first time I saw somebody refer to it as the Montgomery Mollywop, I screamed. I started crying, y'all. First of all, the first time somebody said Mollywop in real life, I was like, Mollywop? What in the world is this? This had to be like in 2012 or something. Like, I remember the job I was at the first time I heard the word Mollywop. I'm like, what in the world is a Mollywop? Child, I thought this was just something they said in Virginia, but no, it was, a thing, but whatever. But yeah, them people said the Montgomery Mollywop. I can't do it. Somebody said, lift every chair and swing. Oh my God. Oh God. What is it? What is it? Wade in the, I forgot. Fade in the water. Man, them people had me crying. They got playlists and everything. Y'all, I am done. When I tell y'all, the people have been showing out. They have been showing out. Oh my gosh. I can't. But anyway, y'all, this is the last thing I'm going to tell y'all about. Well, no, before I get to that. So let me give y'all a little intermission before we go back to the Mollywop situation. So when I pulled up to work, tell me why the not-so-divorced man's car was on the side where I normally park. I said, and I decided I was going to park further away. I said, I'll park further away from the building just to not park. I don't even want to be on the same row as you at this point. Like, I'm not parking next to you just to have a closer parking spot. I don't want nothing to do with you. Because it would be my luck that since it ain't raining today or something like that, he might try to put something on my car, put like a little note or something. Like, it would not surprise me because what my car look like. I'm the only one out there with some Alabama stuff on my car, first of all. So you already know it's me. I'm about to change my stuff. That's why I'm saying it now, because in the past I wouldn't even tell y'all this. But yeah, I had some Alabama stuff on my car and I'm about to change it. I gotta find a place that will ship my stuff to my P.O. box. I'm like, what in the world is the thing called? But anyway, that's the only holdup because I got my new tags and everything, and it's not Alabama related. So I'm changing it up, and it's completely different. And I can't believe I paid extra for this stuff. But yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, so I was just like, yeah, I don't even part next to him. So the last thing I want to say is this. So when I came into work the other day, because y'all remember all this stuff happened over the weekend. Now, some people don't come to work until Tuesday. That's their first day of the work week. So unless they're assigned to come in, they don't know nothing about what's going on. So people been looking for me. So I go on my break, and somebody was like, oh yeah, this person looking for you. I was like, why would they be looking for me? I already saw them. Come to find out, my partner was looking for me. And so he was like, man, I was looking for you earlier. I was like, see, this person told me that somebody else was looking for me, and I didn't understand that. That didn't make no sense. I had already seen the other person. But anyway, what's going on? Y'all, I'm not thinking this man gonna say nothing about this brawl. He was like, oh, I'm looking for you because, I remember you from Montgomery. I was like, what? I said, not you remember them from Montgomery, man. We started hollering. We started hollering, y'all. So he was like, man, them people went off. I couldn't believe that. Like, he started going off. And I just couldn't believe. Like, we had a little moment we was talking about it. And it was crazy. Y'all, I can't believe that man remember where I'm from. Like, I don't go around boasting or, anything like that, or being like, hey, y'all, I'm from Montgomery. Hey, y'all, I'm from Montgomery, Alabama. Hey, y'all, I'm from Montgomery, Alabama. Like, I don't do none of that. Like, people normally who don't know of my existence and they start working there, they're interested in me, they will ask somebody where I'm from, or they will come up to me and ask me where I'm from. But I don't just go around like, well, I'm from Alabama, so. Or try to make it, in a way to try to make it seem like I'm better than y'all, Virginians. So that was so crazy to me. People were really looking for me because they remembered that I'm from Montgomery. I was like, oh my gosh. But tell me, the funniest part about this whole situation is around this time, it was time for the fine dude that I told y'all about that looked like Corey Hardwick, but his nose is like a normal size nose. And he got, man, his hair, like he has like this, what people call good hair. He cut his hair off. He had like nice, like kind of long and thick hair. Nice, flowy, it was nice hair. He cut it off. He got tired of it. It was hot, something. I don't know, whatever his excuse was. He's still fine. So he cut his hair off. So he come walking in the door, and me and my friend, my, partner, we talking. So he was like, hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all have a good day. So he, greets my partner first, dap him up. So then he roll up on me, and I'm like, is this going to be a hug or, what this going to be? So he, go ahead and give me the good old pound or whatever, right? He was like, yeah, I'll see you later, gangster. I was like, see, this is what I'm talking about. You stay knowing. He was like, oh, I know. I was like, see, I'm glad you know. Everybody started dying laughing. Like, he was like, oh, I know for real. Like, he was the only one laugh because he know I'm a gangster for real. And I'm like, how does he know this when we don't even work on the same shift? Like, come on now. Come on now. But anyway, y'all, this week has been very interesting, and I'm just so glad that I don't have to see these people for a week. Like, the Lord be knowing. I might have some more tea for y'all later on, but I'm gonna have to wait on that because I don't know how it's gonna play out. But we're gonna see. I'm not getting my hopes up about nothing. I don't know how it's gonna go. I don't know. I don't even know what's happening in this moment. But I'm gonna tell you all about it, whether it's good or bad. But I'm just waiting on some more things to come out first. So yeah.